Oh, people, I'll make a point here, right? Yeah. So, you watch Training Day earlier, Denzel Washington's character, when I read this, I know it's 99% bullshit, but I find it entertaining. You know, all of this shit here, I can't be bothered reading it. Like, Denzel Washington said in, real life that, you're either uninformed or misinformed. So, like, just because something's a university, just because somebody's credited with status, just because something is posed as the truth does not mean that it is, and it doesn't mean that there's like underlying deception. So if you look here, when was I cast out of heaven? This, like, what makes you think that this is not bullshit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it won't all be bullshit, I can be very vain, but what makes you think that other people can't be vain? I have aspirations. Where do the aspirations come from? I can be prideful. Pride is often seen one-dimensionally, and there can be positive pride as, if your son or daughter wins a race at sports day, like, being proud of them at that point, well, is that a sin? Well, that's up to you to decide. What was the point? It's just depicted as like, oh, well, I wanted the God position. Well, no, because responsibility of that position is karmically very intense, and you must be somebody who can create order out of immense chaos. So what was this derogatory term like? You know what I mean? Like, what was the point, people? Somebody needs to tell me, and if they can tell me, they better not be making it up. Because I'll tell you what the fucking point was, right? And I don't even need to remember. The point is that nothing was evolving. It's going round in circles. This shit is deceptive and not as good as it's posed to be. And as soon as anybody starts asking questions about it, just like in this world, that person is demonized, discriminated against, and cast down to the brig in order to, as a punishment for actually asking fucking questions. So you're probably thinking, like, the epitome of deception. Well, let me tell you something, right? You have a look at what I'm saying, yeah? I've got nothing to do with fucking carnal sacrifice nonsense. Like, I value virtue and real sacrifice, self-sacrifice. What is my argument? I do not believe that turning the other cheek or Jesus' sacrifice is the superlative representation of character, right? I actually oppose slavery and all of that sort of thing. So it's all inaccurate. And as for the people that claim that Lucifer is pleased with all of that, what makes you think that it's not just some deity posing as Lucifer? I mean, come on, like, have you fucking asked questions, for crying out loud? Don't just don't even take what I'm saying for, like, don't just watch this and he's telling the truth. No, I want you to ask questions. How do we evolve? We ask questions that have never been asked. We be brave, and we look onto the unknown. What we don't do is just get it spoon-fed and say, well, it's clearly in order. And, well, no, you don't understand the universe. You don't understand deception, if that's what you're saying. I know that I deceive, and so do you.
Oh, mate,
Hello.
I can hear you speaking, mate. That's what I'm talking.
Oh, yeah.
How you doing, all right?
I'm all right, mate. I'm making a video.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of something, mate.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
So, I've lost my track of thought. So, how was Satan cast from heaven? With reference to a specific time in history when Satan fell from heaven, it must be stated that there is no clear revelation as to exactly when what the fuck do you mean when? What date was it? You know, what the fuck are you talking about? There were limits to the possible. Oh, this is just bollocks. I can't be arsed. Where is the point? I want a detailed fucking explanation of what the point was. And until somebody can tell me that, you better not be making assumptions. What was the point? What if it was bullshit, mate? Have you considered that? Have you considered that it might have been a load of toss? Because you need to realise, like, look, all right, we'll take the Garden of Eden as like an exemplary story here. There are natural forces in reality to do with archetypes and duality. Right, so this being poses as God and shows up and says, all right, well, there's all these trees knocking about. There's fruit you can eat of the trees, right? But not this one here, because this is the tree of knowledge, and you can't have knowledge, so you need to not be having it. You know, Adam and Eve are thinking like, well, they look particularly good. I wonder why. So here comes this serpent, you know, depicted as the temptation and evil and all that. Why does the serpent show up? Well, yes, it is a deceptive creature, but is the jib God not being deceptive? What, he's put the tree there? Like, what, the tree's just there? Well, why couldn't you just put it fucking somewhere out of reach? No, it has to be there so that they're tempted to get it. But what are they tempted to do there? The tree of knowledge. Evolution. Right? As soon as they bite that apple, they start to encounter like self-awareness, right? And they're thinking, I'm naked, I need some jeans, like summer. So why? Why is that a bad thing? Is the serpent not doing him a favour? And what makes you think that if God's God, he knows the serpent's there? Surely it's all synchronised. He knew it was going to happen. And that's just a fucking story, people. Don't, look, I'm here to make a point here. If you don't go, you never know. So if they hadn't have bit that apple, what would have happened? Fuck all. And the beings that desire for evolution and so-called trouble, growth, meaning, how are they going to be happy in a place where there is nothing of the sort happening? Do you think that Sherlock Holmes would be happy in a realm that is all about hymns and bullshit? No, he wants a story, he wants a problem, and he wants something to fulfill his desires, his nature. Is Sherlock Holmes a bad person? He's not an entirely good person, he's a very complex character, right? But it's really, he needs Moriarty because Moriarty gives him something to actually do. Right? Now, that isn't me saying that being an evil cunt's great. And what makes you think that I'm evil anyway? Yeah? What? None of this goes into detail. Oh, this is like all right, is it then? All right, well, all right, so an extra dimensional fucking heaven reality can be encapsulated in simple, stupid words out of a fucking one-dimensional book. Are you taking the piss? What a fucking joke.